Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CRL podcast, the Pood. To be determined on the name. Could be the Pood, could not be. Who knows? Who cares? We're going to get it figured out. But we got a little bit to talk about today. We got the usual suspects behind the camera and everything, you name it. Got Matty Ice behind the desk as per usual. The guy's getting it done with production. We've got Dapper. The guy wins and loses. Usually loses when it comes to Halo, usually wins when it comes to COD. You know how it is. We got our boy Jake. I mean, this guy, we're talking about winning a diamond championship and saying, you know what? I'm retired. What are you going to do? Shout out to that. On the best team you could ever do it on, too. Shout out Green Bay Goats, what I'm saying. And then we got Jim's.
Yeah,
I would just like to call out Dapper was able to make the Pood because he got 3-0'd in a very, very quick fashion.
Just saying. In Halo. If it was COD, he's 3-0'ing, okay? In fairness.
Damn. Okay, to be fair, it was a really weird series. I played great, though. I played just
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
How good could you have possibly played if your team
I mean, he got that Georgia fiber, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Dang.
I was on 8 ping.
Look at his bed.
Fantastic.
New place.
Yeah, look at his bed.
Oh my god, you're talking about this fucking monstrosity?
How tall is your bed? You got a tape measure over there, Andy?
So we're standing up.
For reference, Dapper is like 4'2".
How many Xbox controllers tall is it?
Weapon?
How many Xbox controllers tall is it?
Oh boy, okay, hold on. Let's see. I have 2 for reference right now.
Do like the whole tilt thing, you know?
I got two. So if we just do this, just 2 Xbox controllers.
I can't see what
so
he's doing.
It's about like 10. Just
about 10.
About 10.
How? Okay. I used to have a tape measure on my desk.
Here, I got an Xbox controller. Let me
How big
look
is it?
at it.
Should I go grab
I don't know.
it?
It's like one hand long.
One hand long. Okay, how big is your hand?
I don't know. How long is an average hand?
Matty, you guys want to look
Isn't
that
it
up?
like?
I'm just kidding.
Like 8 or 9 inches or something?
You okay?
I'd say that's more than enough,
So you're telling me his bed is like 80 inches tall?
No, okay, see, I mean, you can
I
look
don't
right
know
here.
If you're tall enough
Maybe
to
I was
ride
gassing
this ride, my guy.
This all right here is like, it's just a box spring.
Well,
So
see,
if we
did you
would
hold?
move all
Anyway,
this,
we'll forget about it.
then bed would not be that big.
This
I
dude's
have
bed
to
is
jump
actually like 4
to get
feet
into
tall.
my bed.
Wait, can you
I'm
stand
not
next to your
4
bed
feet
again?
tall.
Can you stand next to your bed? How tall are you?
About 5'7", 5'8".
I mean, this thing's like a solid. Got to be.
My
almost
driver's
4 feet,
license
bro.
says 5'8". So.
Yeah,
but
I
that
mean,
you
lied
write
on
it
that, bro. They just
yourself.
ask you. They don't check.
They don't measure you.
You could write like 6'1". The police officer's gonna look at that thing, look at you, and be like, I don't know.
I mean, if the police officer sees you in the car, you're gonna be sitting anyway. What's he gonna do? Like, be like,
you can tell.
You don't
you can
look.
Tell if
You don't
sitting how
give.
tall they are.
You don't give 6'5".
You
I'm
get
like,
out of the car.
I'm
He's
6'5"
like,
where it matters,
You're about a foot shorter than I thought you were gonna be.
That's insane.
Oh, man. I mean, if you stand on that bed, you'll be at least 6 foot tall.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I stood on my bed, I'd probably hit the fan.
Make sure you turn the fan on first, so Matty Ice only hears. Hopefully, he wore a helmet this time.
No, see, what would really suck if
I'm
I'm sleeping and then in the middle of the night I just roll off the bed. It hasn't happened since I was a kid, but I'm just saying there's always a chance.
Yeah, bro.
But
now
it
that
has
it's like
happened.
now that it's
Always a
literally
chance.
4 feet, your brain's just gonna be like, let's check this one out real quick. You're gonna wake
be
up.
so
You're gonna be
anxious
just
about
broken
doing it.
nose, bleeding everywhere.
The intrusive
do you
thoughts are gonna
sleepwalk?
set in. No.
I've sleepwalked before.
With how tall that bed is, if you were sleepwalking, you'd be chalked. You'd go
You'd
get
just
out,
fall,
and you just fall right into your desk. Just be so done. You go to the other side, you just fall through the window. You know what? I shouldn't have left that open.
Well, you know
Sleepwalking's
what?
crazy.
I don't
Yeah,
have
no,
my
it's actually
nightstand yet, so I have nowhere to put my phone for my alarm.
Well, I mean, your bed's big enough. You can just put it on the bed. Let me put it in your pocket.
Sleep with my phone in my pocket?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it would be wild.
Why is your bed so tall?
No way.
I don't know.
So just wrapped back?
The movers came at like 8 a.m. this morning, right? the first thing that came through my head, I was like, dude, it sucks to be living below us right now. So, that's besides the point. So I'm sitting in the living room, right, just chilling, just playing games on my phone, waiting for them to finish. They finished, and I looked into my room, and my first thought was, dang, pretty big. But the
Dude.
people who were setting it up, I asked them like, "Is this the biggest bed you've seen?" And they said no. Apparently,
What?
apparently they got done with a house last night. The bed was taller, and the people they set it up for were shorter than me. So I'm
So
like,
they can't get
dude,
up there.
You know, they set that
that
bed up, and then
sucks.
as soon as the movers like the whole time, the movers were like, "You sure this is gonna be fine? Like this is gonna be okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, of course, it's fine." As soon as the movers left, they were like, "What are we doing? What happened?"
But tomorrow I am gonna go look for a new bed. The exchange just went up.
Are you
Yeah,
really? You don't like
Yeah.
it?
Well, no. Well,
I
so
think
there's
this
a
is just like
period
part of your
after they
character
set
now.
it up to where you can do it for free.
Oh, it's like a try it deal kind of thing.
Yeah. And if
Good,
I'm
that's
being
good.
honest, I don't want to have to jump into my bed every night.
I mean,
That's
I'm not gonna
valid.
lie, it's pretty hilarious. You could just be like one of those kids, like one of those
Dude,
kids who jumps in his bed.
even Matty Ice's dogs like
Yo,
can't
They
jump
can't
on.
get
Or,
up.
like they can barely
fucking,
jump onto the bed. They could
that's
jump, but barely.
dude. It's like 4 in the morning. This dude's just jumping in his bed. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I have
Oh
my
You and
man.
Matt.
TV right here, and I
Okay,
usually have
okay, let's move on. Okay, bed talk's over. We're good.
Shout out bed
you're
talk though.
ruining
You
the
get the TikTok
fun.
in the bed talk. I'm sorry.
You're ruining the
You know,
It's
Dapper
insane.
like Matty Ice can walk in his room and have like he can be eye to eye with him while standing, bro.
Oh my god.
Like it's crazy. Oh, this dude's gonna be laying in his bed on his phone. Matty Ice is gonna walk in, and Dapper's not even gonna have to look up. He's still gonna be looking down on him. Oh man.
Okay, let's get into the roster mania talk because there
Yeah.
has been. I mean,
Boo.
I don't know. I wasn't here last week. I was a bad podcast person. I didn't show up. I don't know what you guys talked
Was it
about,
last
but
week or was it like 2 weeks ago?
it
It's a
was
long time
sometime.
ago.
I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago. But the thing is, we've been like, so technically the podcast is supposed to be filmed on Monday. And we've done
Yes.
like back to back Fridays, I'm pretty sure. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that it kind of chalks that a little bit. But it's a good time. So yeah,
I
we
mean,
missed a
Yeah.
little bit. I mean, like
to
we
be
missed
fair,
the Thieves kind of like rumored roster, even though that happened like a week ago, but we did miss it because we didn't really have a podcast because we kind of had to skip one there. I don't know
okay,
if we really had to, but we kind of did.
to be fair, I mean, we would have had these podcasts out on time, but Matt and I went like a week without internet, so we couldn't film a podcast.
Oh yeah.
So
You guys kind of were like
there's that.
off the grid there.
Wait, is that actually Offset that replied to that tweet? No, I think that's like a different guy. It's
Yeah,
just it's just a
I'm just
random
kidding.
person. I thought that was Domigo. Yeah,
There's
4K.
no
I don't think
way.
that's him. I don't think that he was a minority owner in FaZe Clan. Anyways, so we got obviously we got the confirmed teams. FaZe Ad Draza, Ultra Ad Envoy. Everybody's aware of that. Partially confirmed teams. You got Breach, Snoopy Slasher, Priesta, +1, Subliners, Hydra, Kiz, Skies, Sib, Optic, Dashy, Shotzi, Pred, Kenny. Everybody's on the wavelength. We did get today that it's seeming as if Breach are going to be adding Capsidal as that +1 player. So Snoopy, Cap, Slasher, Priesta. And then the rumored teams are Rocker, Awakening, Accuracy, Vivid, and Lins. And then LAT is going to be Ghosty, Cammy, Afro, Joe Deceives. All feel like some pretty interesting rosters. All rosters I would not have expected to see, maybe 3 months ago. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting season. There's a lot of silly and goofy rosters being, formed, and it's going to be a fun season. Subliners dropping Priesta, that's crazy.
It's actually wild. But now that
Yep.
we've learned more, like even coming from Priesta, what he said, it sounds like it was literally legit. Just the players were like, "Yep, we're moving on. We want someone better." Like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
like
just want a
so
world like with this guy, and you won 2 majors, and you're just gonna be like, "Good luck, have fun, good luck on the streets, there, dude."
with
Mm.
Jaws and Envoy being like picked up right away, and once Sib was like still floating around the market, I think they were like, oh yeah, I mean, shoot, we can replace Priesta with Sib, and that would be an upgrade. Good.
They're
Yeah,
they're
dude.
I
going with the
mean,
pack a
what
punch method.
What person is not going to want to join a team of 3 people who just won champs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely like.
Especially a 5-0 champs.
Well, I think of all the teams available, that was probably like the second or, well, probably like the third or fourth best option overall, probably, right? Because like FaZe being the number one option, no matter who you are, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that trio, like Optic, arguably the second, I would say. And then obviously you have Ultra and Subliners, but Optic's like that number two for me for a lot of different reasons over just like obviously how competitive the team is going to be. You get a lot of benefits from joining that team. But then Ultra with like Envoy, like that's like if you're Envoy, like it doesn't matter really. Like if you get that offer from pretty much any team, like that Ultra run is about as good as he gets. Like you get 2 good ARs, you with Kleenex, like Envoy with Kleenex is gonna be good. So
And New York's going to be so good, of course, but I can't believe that Ultra won't be the best team in the game next year.
Yeah, that's true. Huh.
It's they played phenomenal this year, and the game next year is going to be very, very
oh,
similar.
but FaZe though, FaZe
in the
finally fixed their
M23.
problem they've had for years, which is like Celium playing as a main AR as their flex. Like they finally fixed that problem, and like Draza is actually like a really fast paced like flex player, playing with that like Simp and Abizi like up front. Like it's gonna be that team is gonna be in like final form mode.
Oh, it's going to
I
be
mean, but I feel like we've
fantastic.
always said that about FaZe, though.
Yeah, but now like we every time we say that though, they have like Arcides or Slasher paired with Celium. You know what I mean? So it feels like they're like low key handicap. Not because those players are bad, but because you have like 2 main ARs practically.
I hope it
Like
works.
just in play style. Yeah.
I hope we see FaZe at full form.
I mean, in fairness, what we've been seeing for like T3 nonstop could just be low key full form, right? Like this could just be like the best they can be now. Cause like in genuinely, like teams have built super teams. Like Ultra is a super team. Like Subliners is basically a super team. Optic is going to be a super team if that team like it becomes official, you know, like you're not, I mean, you're competing against literally like the best possible options there are, which I think everyone kind of knew this was what was going to happen in the CDL if they don't come out with like a salary cap or something of that sort. Is that like eventually all of the good talent's just going to funnel up, like inevitably. Whoever's got money will have a good roster, and whoever doesn't have money will just have a bad roster.
Yeah.
So,
That's just kind of the way the
Like
cookie crumbles. At least
every
you got
other
Breach
team.
throwing out cash.
yeah. Well, it sounded they offered Envoy like the bag apparently, which is crazy. I never
So
would
it's
like when I
350,
heard, yeah, like the rumors were
350.
350. Which if they offered that, like Breach is like attempting to just be one of those like top 4 or 5 teams. And which honestly, with the roster they have, if Snoopy is as good as he can be, like it could be a very good team. Be a very, very good team.
That
But
rumored fourth supposed to be Capsule, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I like the idea of bringing Capital back. I mean, he was arguably the best player on Florida last year at the end of the season.
He was him.
I don't even think arguably, I think he just was, right? Like straight up.
He was like a BZ, just like sprinting and killing. He wasn't as good as a BZ, obviously, but like he was that guy. I'm a big Cap fan. I hope this team's good. I am a little bit nervy about the AR duo, though. I feel like it could cause some problems, but the 2 SMGs, if they can perform well, that's more important than having 2 good ARs, is having 2 great SMGs. We kind of saw that with New York this year. 2 fantastic SMGs. ARs, you know, not like they're very solid, but like they don't need to be the greatest of all time in order to win a world championship.
I mean, that sub duo though in that finals was like unstoppable. So
Yeah.
yeah,
What, a 1.52?
yeah, it's actually
1.52 for kids in the finals? Sheesh.
Yeah, dude.
I think Breach is
Hey,
definitely
hey.
going to be a team that if they do secure Capsule, like they're going to hit that like that wave as a squad probably around like, well, actually, honestly, because Slasher, the way Slasher is, like that's definitely going to be like an end of game like threat team for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of how slasher teams always work,
Yeah.
except for maybe FaZe this year.
Yeah, but that was just FaZe,
Or like
Yeah,
LAG last year. You know how it
Priest,
goes.
Priest will need to step it up. He will need to step it up,
Yep.
or he's gonna be the first to go.
And the problem that Priest has now is like he may have just won a world championship, but like he didn't put up the best of stats. And I hate to be the stats guy. I do.
I mean,
Like, let's be
no,
perfectly
you're not
honest.
wrong though. You had like
But
Kiz,
thing,
Hydra, and Skies around you. Like, what are you gonna? Anybody could have been the fourth. Anybody.
I mean, with the way they were playing, 100%. Like The thing though with like Prisa is like I hate to be the guy who's like pulling out the stats and like you hear pro players and like other people like talking about all the time that are like big in the community, like, oh, stats don't always matter, don't always matter, don't always matter. I'm telling you right now, like pro players say that, but then they only pick up teammates based off of stats. Like it's insane.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it feels
cap.
like 90% of the time. It's like they can sit there and say they don't care about stats, but like all the time they pick up people because like you'll see it all the time where like someone will get picked up over somebody else. You're like, why was that? And then you'll see they like the previous season they were a little bit better statistically, and it's like, oh, I guess probably because of that. Like, I don't
The pros say that stats don't matter for one of two reasons: either to cover their own, self from criticism, or to cover their teammates from criticism. Those are the
know. Right.
only reasons. Everybody knows that stats matter. Like you're not gonna drop a 0.6 and win a series. And if you
Mhm.
do, it's like, dang, I just dropped a 0.6. We won the series. Thanks, guys. You know what I mean? It's like it's just not. It's not realistic. Stats most definitely do matter. But to a certain extent is you got to find the mix of like good
I mean,
stats and good gameplay.
like in fairness, like there's plenty of pro players that like are just like a straight up like they're a guaranteed like point 0.9. Like win loss doesn't matter. They're going to be at that like point 0.9, right? But like a point 0.9 isn't like making or breaking your team, you know? It's like when you get into that like point 0.6, like point 0.7, point 0.5 territory where it's like, all right, maybe we got to like shoot back.
Yeah,
Maybe we shoot back.
maybe
But
you should
Shout
like
out
pull the
Jimbo.
irons a little more.
oh
Oh,
man,
whoa,
dude,
Shout
Jimbo
out
did learn
Jimbo.
how to shoot back in fairness.
online.
Yeah.
In challengers
I
only.
wonder why.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
Hmm.
You guys
Interesting
think?
That's
timing.
that's a perfect segue into the LA Thieves new roster.
What?
What?
Well, rumors were that they were gonna go after Jimbo. No, I'm just kidding. But
Oh yeah, true.
they got our boy Joe Devious though. This is just
I love that guy.
rumored, dude. I hope Joe Devious has a career, bro. Joe Deceives is a guy. But Thieves, obviously, the rumored roster is going to be that Ghosty, Cammy, Afro, and Joe Deceives. The one that I think we knew they were looking for previously, before like this came out, like as like a rumored thing, even though it was like a week ago, was like I know they were talking about Afro and I think Cammy, but for sure we heard Afro getting tossed around as like a target for Thieves, which we all kind of agreed was like a good thing because of the money to like skill like level there. Like you could get him very cheap because he just came off a bad year, but he is also like insanely talented.
Yeah, absolutely. Me personally, I know there's been some like back and forth about whether or not this team is good or not. I like this team given what kind of options you had. I think maybe it would have been a little bit better if you could fill in Capsule to this lineup,
Mhm.
as and fill in for maybe Afro or Joe Deceives. But I think Joe has really big upside. I think Afro has really big upside. Ghosty, no doubt about it, proved himself in this season. My worry's Cammy, but I don't know. I don't think we've ever seen Cammy on a team like this. And Cammy's been kind of in some awkward situations the past couple years, but maybe this is where he lets his wings, open. But it's going to be interesting. I think all these teams have the opportunity to be good. It's just like one of those things where somebody's going to, like, some of these teams are going to fly and some of them are going to flop, and you just can't tell which ones.
I think the
And
thing with Thieves though specifically is like looking at this roster and like kind of what Thieves has done in the past, like looking at people like specifically Draza, is it almost feels like what they're doing is specifically setting this up to be like a hopefully one or two of these player comes out to be like a superstar after like a year of getting like actual quality time on a roster with good coaching to where you have like two people you can build off of for the future and like actually start to like rebuild this like organization's like team. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a Ghosty or an Afro or a Ghosty and a Joe Deceives, or maybe Ghosty doesn't even get better from this last previous year, which I'm assuming Ghosty's going to do nothing but get better, right? And be like the leader of this team. But just like, you know what I mean, though? It's just, it definitely feels like a roster that's based around just like trying to get one of these younger players outside of Cammy, I guess, to just hit their full potential and like really just hit a gem.
every single one of these players are just kind of on a make it or break it. I think they can all be incredible. I think they can all also suck. So I think it's going to be a really, really hot or cold roster. We're going to see flashes of brilliance from them, and we're also going to see him place top 12 every now and then.
Yeah.
There's not really going to be an in between. I don't know. That's just my thought. They're all on prove it contracts,
Which makes,
and
I mean,
they're hoping it's going to work out.
I think honestly, Thieves did a very good job here getting a very budget roster that also
Well,
has potential to like pop off though.
I
Like I
wanna
agree, they're probably gonna have a lot of events where it's like, "Eee, you know what? Did they show up? Were they there? Did they exist?" And then they're
I
also gonna have
wanna
events where they're contending. So,
I wanna hear from the Thieves fan what he thinks about
oh no.
Matty Ice. You have the stand.
I just want to booze us. That's all
That's what I
want.
was gonna say next, Matty Ice. It's like, why isn't Abuza off the board yet? Where's he going?
Must be a budget thing, right? Like he must have been offered like a
I-
crazy deal, or he's currently in negotiations for like a lot of money somewhere, right?
The only
I
thing
feel like he's a
Has to be.
domino right now that people are waiting to see where he's going to go. He's no doubt the best amateur player that's going to get picked up by somebody.
If he
And
gets
I
But
picked
think
Linz
up.
has already
there's
got a
just
spot.
negotiations going around for a couple teams with him, and whoever gets him, then the dominoes will start falling.
I think
The
Like
real
what
question
other
is,
amateur players are going to need to be settled on.
well, like what team though? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
at
like-
this point in time, if he's not on any of these rosters that are currently listed, this is all the rosters that we know guaranteed have money that like of some kind that they can spend, right? Over like the minimum. Like what we've seen from like so far in the league. The only exception to that is that because of Seattle picking up Rambo, we can assume that means they're looking to actually invest some decent amount of money. So is it possible like Seattle's looking to get like Abuza and plus a couple other like decent good players or something? I don't know.
I mean, maybe it could be Seattle. I don't know what London's plan is now. Like they're trying to move their HQ location somewhere else outside of London to what was it, like North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Or yeah, Charlotte, or Charlotte, like Mexico City was another option. I think something like that. So they just got there and they just got bought, or Rogue just got bought by Koi before the start of last season. So who knows if they're willing to splash some cash? There certainly have been zero rumors around what their roster is going to be if they are willing to splash some cash. But if maybe Abuse is holding out for a better contract, he might end up on just just a lesser, not a lesser team, but just as one of the last picks, I guess.
I will also say, like, there's a good chance that if he is going to like Koi or like London or whatever, there's a good chance because like the whole like moving like organizations and stuff like that, there's a possibility that like he is already like in deep negotiations with them and stuff. And the reason we haven't heard anything is because like generally there's no links to current leakers to people in that organization,
Mhm.
where they can get info. And Abuza's probably just locked up tight with as far as
Yeah.
like telling people what's going on.
Yeah, and there might be a lot of teams that are just waiting to figure out what their financial situation is. Again, the season ended way earlier than anyone would have expected, and
Right.
maybe budgets aren't figured out yet, and teams are trying to move locations. And I think combined brands, that was also a rumor where the CDL or Activision might, I guess Microsoft might allow teams to play under the same brand as their Overwatch League team. So there's probably just a lot of financial things in the background that teams are trying to figure out right now, and who knows what's going on, because it's been, aside from the teams that can splash cash, it's been radio silent for the bottom
Well,
six.
I guess in fairness, like when do they have to have rosters by?
Months from now, probably.
Yeah,
Right, like, I
not
Probably
figure-
by like
close.
November,
I
December.
mean, I figure some of these teams are not like gonna sign anyone, like for like until then.
Probably.
Like legit, like a team like Vegas, for example, like they might just wait because then there is actually a pretty big advantage to those teams that wait very long. Is like, I mean, they're gonna be able to sign people for literally pennies on the dollar because they're gonna be desperate to be on a pro team.
And plus
That's another thought.
I mean, if you don't sign them now, does that mean like players that sign right now, are they getting paid? They're getting paid the whole time. So if teams don't sign until like the final hour, then they literally do not have to spend money until that point, which,
Right.
probably Jim's is
For
right. It's
cash
probably
flow.
November or October or something like that.
Depends.
Which-
I have no idea how it works. I know, like in actual major league sports, baseball and football, you're only getting paid week to week, like while the
In
season
season.
is active. You
Oh.
don't even get paid for playoffs.
You get game checks and stuff.
Yep.
Well, in
So I
NFL,
don't-
you
I
get
don't know
game
if that's
checks for
the case
the
here.
playoffs. They give you extra money for it.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the case here.
I think
good
I
question.
remember like Pat McAfee saying something like, "You only get paid for the games you play,
Yep.
or like the games you're not."
Unless you have a
on the
crazy
injury list.
guaranteed deal, basically.
Yeah,
But like if you're on like vet minimum or like just league minimum in general in the NFL, Like, really, the only way you can make more money is if you make it to playoffs and your playoff check is like something like it's like double your regular game check or something like that. So like it gives like a big incentive to like make it to playoffs and stuff for those like players who are literally on league minimum, which is a lot. So
Hmm.
I'm guessing the CDL is completely different though. So, but it would make sense if cash flow wise, these teams were just waiting so they didn't have to spend cash in a time where they normally would not be spending any money, which is the off season. So
Yeah,
I thought
that's
it
a
makes sense.
possibility. I think there's just also a lot of moving pieces behind the scene with these
Yeah.
teams that are trying to combine their orgs and figure out locations. And
I'm
there's
sure it's
been
hard too.
several different rumors about what's happening with teams behind the scenes. So
They're probably all gonna happen at the
with the
same time.
CDL as a whole, so it's just it's a weird time for a lot of teams, I'm sure, while they try to figure out what the heck's going on.
And not to mention the YouTube contract. Shout out.
Yep. YouTube contract, moving locations, potential combination or combining of organizations. It's teams trying to sell their spots, I'm sure. CDL payments being canceled. Like there's so much stuff behind the scenes that teams are trying to figure out, I'm sure.
Imagine trying to sell your spot in this esports climate,
Oh, good luck.
Oh my
bro.
god.
I mean,
Good
especially
luck.
with just that, dude. What just happened to esports engine, bro? When I saw that, I was like, no, bro.
I mean, that unfortunately, that's kind of what you have to expect. Like they got bought by ESL. ESL already
Right.
has all the infrastructure that they need, and they
And
probably
the
just
staff,
needed
yeah.
the structure of production that Esports Engine had. So once they figured that out and they got that, they were able to just lay
You know what?
everybody
You
off.
know what
It's
they
just
probably figured out?
how it goes with acquisitions sometimes.
You know what they figured out? They probably figured out that if you don't have Adam Apicella, then it doesn't matter.
That too.
Like,
The
shout out
GOAT,
Adam Apicella.
the esports
That guy's
GOAT.
gonna bounce back in COD, and it's gonna be the greatest new, like COD esport
Oh,
ever.
he'll be back.
Oh, they're probably gonna bring him in to run the CDL. Why not? They're
He
not
might
because
not
he would
want to
definitely.
come back. He might
No,
be
I was just
done. He
saying.
sold the esports engine. He's like, peace.
No, the way he's been tweeting and stuff, he definitely wants to be back, but I guarantee you he has like a no compete for like a certain amount of time, so he probably can't for a couple years at least.
Hmm.
So
Well,
even if he wanted to, he probably can't.
depends on if ESL wanted to do Call of Duty stuff.
That's true. Maybe they decided you can just do that. Or maybe he can like run a league. He just can't run like an independent like production company. Like also like there's a lot of things maybe that he can do and like, can't do. So maybe he can run a league that does its own in-house production and everything. He just can't run a production company that runs productions for other leagues and for other games and for individuals and
Yeah.
stuff. We have no idea, obviously. I mean, that's like high tier business stuff right there for those guys. They
Yeah,
know what's up. We don't, that's for
I
sure.
do
Yeah.
not.
Did we touch on the Minnesota rumored roster at all?
Oh, I think we
Yeah.
like
Hey,
danced
let's hear
over
your
it.
thoughts, Jims.
They're mid. I
That's not
don't
what you
know.
said earlier.
I
That's not what you said earlier.
Accuracy needs to go be a coach or an
You
analyst
said it
somewhere
maybe.
or a GM. Just get him off the team. He should
Dang.
not be a player at this point.
Dude,
Oh.
that's
He has such a good track record in
I
player development that but he cannot perform in game.
can can I just
Don't make him
say
a coach. He needs
can
to
Jims
I
go
just
be a
just
popped
coach.
jet
say
knives and
though
started throwing them.
can I just say though real quick that like I personally believe like the same thing, but I also want to say like I think accuracy is like a great like talent in like I don't know how to say this
He's a
without
locker
sounding like
room guy.
yeah, you know what? He's the glue guy.
He's
And a
definitely a
lot
glue
of
guy.
times the glue guy is on the bench. Okay?
Hmm.
But that does not make the glue guy not worth what the glue guy is worth. Okay?
He's got value.
Oh man. I generally just think accuracy would just make an amazing coach though. I think he would generally be up there with like what people think of Crowder and stuff like that. Like it's definitely going to be someone that once he does finally decide to retire, he's going to be able to go to pretty much any team he wants. And I imagine one of those teams is going to be Seattle, depending on how the Rambo thing turns out. Like accuracy will probably have a chance to go there and coach there because he was there for so long, or even in Minnesota. Like Minnesota needs a coach, just saying.
I mean, you got to imagine Minnesota probably wanted him, and that's why he's on this team. Minnesota probably
Yeah.
came to him, said, we want to give you this. And whatever they wanted to give him, probably a little bit more, maybe a lot more than what he would make if he was coaching. So,
Fair.
can't blame
Especially now.
Minnesota. That I see what they're trying to do here. I mean, it's very obvious. Like what the idea is. It's like, okay, we're gonna take Lamar, we're gonna take Big Wake. Obviously, Big Wake, enormous ceiling. We saw him 18-3 versus Optic Gaming when the game was tied. Yeah. But maybe Lamar whips him into shape. And then in the same vein, you got Reese Vivid, who, no doubt about it, impact player. Reese Vivid might be the only player in the league that can have a 0.8 and also be impactful. And then you got the young guy, you got Linz. Let's see if the French kid is godlike. I mean, that's the idea, but does it pan out? I don't know. I don't have high hopes. I'm with Jim's.
Hey, okay, I have a question to ask you guys real quick. This deals with rosters, but not what we're talking about right now. I read something that was very disturbing. Can we all agree that the top 2 teams in the league are going to be FaZe and Ultra next season?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Probably.
Thank you.
Nah,
what
no.
did they
Top
say?
3 will be New York, FaZe, and Ultra.
So,
Ooh. Oh.
I don't
wait,
know.
what?
New York will dip. New York will have a slump, and they'll dip out of it at some point, and then they'll come right back in and smoke
Hard to-
everybody.
There is always
Hard
the
to repeat.
possibility that chemistry-wise, somehow that team just takes a massive dip. There is always that
Also true.
possibility. Just saying.
Also true.
I doubt it, but you never know.
I
'Cause
mean, what we do know,
Priest
Sib is a
Priest
little
a vibrant.
volatile.
Yeah, and Priesthood can probably get along with anyone.
Yeah, he's a vibrant.
Just saying it. What were you saying though?
I said you can't say the same thing about Sibilance. He is a
Right.
volatile player, no doubt about it.
You know, the
And he's
first thing I
gross.
thought when I saw the rumors of this is I was like, I hope he meshes well with Hydra. I hope he does.
Yeah.
Because we know Kismet is a go with the flow kind of guy, but also he like has earned his respect and stuff. And Skies is also just like like what Matty I said earlier. He's just like an old soul, right? So he kind of just goes with the flow as well a little bit. And like these are people that are like easily respectable and stuff, right? Not saying Sib isn't, but like his past shows that like he made it hard to be respectable from his teammates and stuff. Point of he literally wasn't getting on rosters when he was probably one of the best like prospects out there, you know?
Something about Cold War?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
like one of the
Cold War.
best prospects out there and he didn't get a job because the rumors about him were basically what Parasite dealt with for years and years and years, right? It was like
Having
just-
an MW as well.
I remember he was dropped from FaZe in Cold War because he said some pretty messed up stuff.
No, it was
did he get
MW.
dropped? Did he get dropped? I don't remember that.
He got
I don't know why I
suspended.
always
He got more than dropped. He wasn't
yeah.
allowed to play.
Got him.
Yeah.
Don't
Got
forget
him,
it.
dude. But like it's just like goes back to like I don't know. I think this roster, the subliners roster, in theory, yes, Sib is better than Priesta. Yes, in theory. But I also do have genuine concerns about how that's going to flow. I think personally, because of what we know about Kismet, I think this team is going to run flawlessly. Also, you got our boy Troy Sender Michaels back there as the coach. The coach. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I love Sender. I love him so much.
Not coach
But,
yet, but he's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Hey, I get it. I understand.
Crowder is
I
the
mean,
coach.
yeah, Crowder. You got to probably give it to Crowder. But
Yeah.
hey, I give it to
think-
TP personally. That's just
I
me.
think
But
we should.
I like
or-
Joey Nubsy.
Joey Nubsy, shout out Joey Nubsy.
No,
He
no,
probably has the
no.
worst CDL coaching record, doesn't he?
One of them.
Yeah,
I guess
definitely
CDL,
one.
him
yeah.
or Theory, right? Probably have the worst, right?
No, Theory wasn't coach like the whole time.
Well, but like in
in
fairness though,
Vanguard.
while he's been there, it's not like they've been getting much better than like T8 and
Who's been
T12.
London's
Not that
coach?
he's a
think you-
bad coach. I'm just
I
saying.
think you
like,
forget how bad they were in Vanguard.
No, I understand, but it's not like they. Here's the thing though: the team online has been a little bit better, but on land has still been just as bad.
Matty Ice is bringing up a good shout.
They had one
London
good,
coach Dominate is definitely up there.
they had
Oh,
one good
dude.
season
Yeah.
in
Shout out Dominant.
in MW19, but after
Wait,
MW19,
where's this going?
they were
Oh, he
just
was
a
only this year though. Dang it.
a team.
Are
that
you
gets
sure?
forgotten.
Looks like according to the fandom page
scroll
he's on
up.
right now.
Scroll up. Is
He
that
was only
really
the
like
coach
the
this year.
whole? Oh no, September 2019. That's just not all of the results, Jims.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Wait, I guess
Then,
LAG's
then it's gotta
coaching
be
staff as
Dominate.
well, right?
Gotta be.
There's like
Actually,
Mark
you know,
DD
I
in
don't
them,
know.
right?
I don't know if it's Dominate. If he was the coach in MW19 and Cold War, that wasn't they weren't
Go-
bad.
Go to the CDL
Or no,
Wikipedia.
MW19 Vanguard.
It dominates 30, bro. What?
If you click on the London Royal Ravens thing, you're right.
That's actually wild, bro. That's like
I'll-
JCap's
I'll-
age. I'm just kidding.
Go to timeline. Click on 2019.
Wait, I have another sleeper
Left side.
pick.
Left side.
Oh, who's your sleeper?
Damon Barlow might be up there.
Oh
Uh,
no, no,
No.
oh, he's technically over
Like
2.
one and
the
three.
head coach was Joe. for MW19.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
honestly though, Marky B this year
With
for LAG
Dominate.
low key
Yeah,
might be one of the
Dominate.
worst ones on record. And Marky
So-
B's actually a good coach, dude.
So when Dominate took over as head coach for London, that's when they started falling off the rails because he took over in Cold War.
Oh no. Hey, they had a good Vanguard season.
No, they were good
Low-key-
in Vanguard.
Low key
Yeah.
now looking
Were
good for
they?
the boy Dominate.
Whoever was the GM for them in Vanguard did a fantastic job. They were disgusting in the first like couple months of the actual CDL.
Mhm.
Does this say
I just
Vixar
say
to
shout
cover?
out Zero, his trigger finger on the rat in Vanguard. Woo!
Click on 21.
Oh yeah, that's something else.
That guy's sniper pistol combo was actually insane.
The GM
By Dylan.
was Cat Gun.
Shout out Dylan Cod.
Where?
No, wait, no. Go to 22.
What are we talking about
Go to
here?
go to 23 while you're at it. Go to 23.
Wait.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
And I go
Yeah.
to.
So the GM was Cat Gun.
They also
that was
lost their
good.
analyst. It looks like they're on November 14th.
He left. Shout
Yeah,
out Cam.
shout out, dude. He was
Hello,
like, you know
Cam.
what? I'm okay. I won't
Cammy on a
resign."
burner.
Wait, no. Then he rejoined back in March 6th.
Shout out. He got his new contract.
No,
he
no,
said, you know
no,
what? I
no,
knew I was
no.
worth more.
That was in chronological order. Oh, he left. Did he get dropped? Nah,
That was
he
that
did
was a
not
month
leave.
ago.
Well, in
Oh,
fairness,
Leave is a strong word.
well,
Yeah.
leave can also just mean they just didn't get a contract offer.
Oh, we're back. We
Huh.
announced the departure.
There we go. He's gone, ladies and gentlemen.
He said, "Hey, a pivotal role in our
He's been
first
gone.
4
A month
seasons."
ago. Yeah, there's a reason nobody noticed.
Dude.
Damn!
Good.
God.
God. Oh
Man.
my gosh.
Sorry.
Oh
Jinx.
man. Oh no. Okay, but in
What
fairness,
the
Joey
hell?
Nubsy actually probably has the worst record though.
Probably.
Like we ain't gotta let that guy
Probably.
slide. Can I just say Joey Nubsy as a GM / like front office guy, perfect spot for the guy.
No,
probably great
another
at it.
locker room pope. Realistically,
You know what
somebody
we
you
need
need.
in the league?
Glue
Sure, we'll go with
guy
that.
for sure.
Is it especially like if you're like one of the players on the team and you just need a good quick little pick me up, ask him to race you. Like foot
Yeah.
race, actual foot race. Or
You know what?
That's
or be
1v1 in basketball.
Hey Joey, let's play catch.
We need a Ted Lasso type head coach.
Those videos
Let's have
were
a-
dude, those videos that came out of Joey Nubsy doing that stuff is actually hilarious.
Let's have
That
a
guy is
jumping
honestly
contest.
awesome.
Who can jump higher?
All I'm saying is I guarantee you Joey Nubsy is like a blast to be around. I guarantee it. He has to
I mean,
be.
enormous glue guy.
Glue guy for sure.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay.
Hey, if you don't know what a
Alright,
glue
alright.
guy is, are you even the glue guy?
You're definitely not. If you don't know what a glue guy is, you are not a glue guy by any
You've
means.
never been the glue guy, have you?
I've been the
Yeah,
guy
definitely.
that wears the backpack.
That's
I don't know if that's
You-
necessarily
you're,
the glue
you,
guy, bro.
you're really feeling yourself after that Halo match tonight where you lost 3-0.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
The way
I'm
you
about
performed in that
COD.
Halo match, for the record, you are
I'm about
not
COD.
you are not the glue guy.
Absolutely
No,
not.
like I
Not the
said, I'm
glue
the
guy at all.
backpack guy.
It's insane.
Oh, man. On your COD roster, you could
No.
probably say you were the glue guy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, Matty Ice is for
See,
sure a
I
glue guy.
would pull up some stats,
Yes.
but I'm not gonna blast anybody out.
Bringing up stats is not something that a glue guy would say.
No.
Yeah. No, for sure. The glue guy would actually immediately be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! How about we go get some ice cream or something?"
Stats do not matter, guys.
No,
Don't
dude.
worry. We'll get
It's
them
a-
next time.
And then immediately looks at Dapper. It's okay if you dropped a 0.65. We're not gonna talk about it or ever bring it up.
Oh my god.
That's how you know the glue guy's mad. He says something like that.
That's how you know the glue guy's pissed.
All
Okay,
right.
let's move
I mean,
on.
yeah, we should
Let's-
probably move
let's
on.
move on.
Honestly,
Let's
it's
move
probably
on.
time for the tier list, boys. Right?
We got a tier list
anything?
today.
Anything else we want to talk about?
Nope.
All right, Jake.
What
What
is
kind of
that
tier
first
list are
gun?
we doing then, my guy? What do we got in front of us here?
Looks like, according to Matty Ice, we got a Call of Duty competitive meta gun tier list.
Oh no.
And it starts with the ASM one. It ends with the STG from World War II. So these are out of order. But I think
It's okay, that's okay.
in the description,
fun.
it said from Black Ops 1 to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So
Okay.
we got a lot to get through. And starting out with the ASM one, me personally, I think we dropped this bad boy. It's not S, but it's around A or B.
Well, hold on. Is this the speakeasy
Solid.
version or not?
This
Hold on,
is
hold on,
what
hold on.
people
I'm
use in game.
Before we start just throwing them in there, we need to set the basis. Like we need to find like the best of the best S tier, and then just the worst to worst, and drop it in D.
Dude,
So
Every
we have
no.
like
M8
we can have
S.
like a baseline.
Okay.
So
So
for
yeah, the
Moss, an S.
BO2 M8 has to be an S, right?
I'll say
I like
Moss
that.
is
BO3
better.
M8 is also an S.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I think the
AR life
BO3
right
M8 is better than the BO2 M8.
Ooh, and you know what? I'll
I
take that.
cannot pick a favorite. I can't pick a
No,
favorite.
I'll take BO3
you-
over BO2 for sure.
BO2 had ghost bullets like crazy.
But
For
but
D
Old,
tier?
BO3,
old
dude,
engine, every gun did.
the
Old
BO3 one
engine.
though was just so smooth, man. I loved it.
Smooth, buttery.
All right,
Loved
can we
it.
also put the Black Ops 4 Maddox up there? 4-4?
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of
Banger.
have to.
There we
yeah.
go. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now which one's the worst?
Ooh.
Um,
MW2 UMP or MW3?
no, absolutely
Nah,
not.
come on.
That
Well,
thing was a
SPG is
nuke.
SPG
definitely
in there?
up there. which
PPSH
one
from
is
World
the
War
worst?
II. PPSH from World War II was a pea shooter for sure.
Dude, I don't. Is it just me or was that gun kind of satisfying?
No,
to you?
not that
that's
one.
Bison.
Now the PPSH is the best gun in the game, though.
The bar. The
Well, that
bar in
wasn't
World War
in
II
the
wasn't
game
the
the
best
whole
gun.
time. Once they put long barrel on it, and it got GA'd. Yeah.
I'm trying to think
No,
of which gun
it
is
got
the worst
GA.
one.
No, it never got GA. It got nerfed. People stopped using it, and then people
Cold
realized
War
even nerfed
AK-74U was
still the best
buns.
gun.
Not.
What about
Rise
the
went to event 'cause no one knew
What
the bar
about
was good.
what about the Ghost Remington? That gun was ass.
That was like the first gun I got gold in that
I
game.
wouldn't say D though. It's not D.
Where
Compared to
would you
the
put
other
it, though?
guns, though.
Wait, this is our base. This is a baseline gun. Where would we put it? C?
I would say C.
Because
I mean, what's the worst
My thing
gun
is you
on this
literally
list?
you could not move. You had to,
Why don't we just go through the
Like-
list and then we can rearrange it
Yeah,
afterwards?
let's
I feel
just
like
yeah,
looking at
let's
it like this,
Rearrange.
I feel like we're just gonna look over things. You know what I mean? So
No, 'cause-
ASM1, because of
what-
how
what-
dominant the ASM1 was and how much people complained about it, nonstop has got to be A. Has to be.
yeah.
And that gun
think
was
it's
so
A.
much
I
fun
think
to
that's
use,
fair.
bro. You
It was
kidding me?
very fun to use.
You dash over and just light someone up, and then light his teammate up and light his other teammate up.
Now here's
They
the
also
thing,
got to put the bar in A though.
the
mean the
bow.
bow?
The bow is
That's okay.
The bow,
The bow is
sorry,
better
yeah.
than the
The
AS1.
bow, the bow was sorry. The bow was what?
The bow is better than the AS1 in my opinion. So
Yeah, I was
think
thinking the
so
same
too.
thing.
Bow here.
I think so too. I thought the bow was better.
I think the ASM one might be B low key after further investigation. I'm already looking past this list and I'm seeing so many like A level guns.
yeah.
So the ASM one pre-patch was ridiculous. When the first 4 or 5 bullets came out quicker. They had that when it was that gun in the early part of the game, it was unbelievable. But once it got nerfed, it was just like another SMG.
Oh, you gonna put the Shiva in there, dude?
It's a bow is A, right?
I put Bal, yeah, Bal and
Yeah,
A.
for sure.
Bal was great.
Voice the
tier.
FAMAS.
Black Ops 1 from I didn't play comp and BO1. I just followed it.
But it's
So,
literally
I didn't.
FAMAS
I
only
didn't
meta,
play
right?
or watch.
Yeah, it was a
obviously.
FAMAS only meta.
See, like, okay, like just because obviously it was the best gun in the game.
Yeah.
But does that mean like it has like S tier vibes? Like I don't think FAMAS is S. Like it might
don't
be
think
B
so.
low key.
I was gonna say B because
gonna
I remember using this thing in pubs and having a blast with it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, you have no idea what it could compete with because there's nothing else.
Right.
Exactly.
It's got to be just like a baseline. That's almost like the
Oh.
baseline gun.
Is that an AN-94?
AN-94
What
was an
is that?
incredible flex
He's
gun.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man, AN-94 was fun,
See,
but yeah,
it
it's
wasn't
not an
used.
M8 or MSMC.
See,
I'll tell you what, those
just wasn't
irons on
moved
that gun
much.
though.
Irons were nice. That's a built-in red dot right there.
Yeah.
It's tough with AN-94. I feel like
What do you guys
Um,
think? Someone make a call. Someone make a call.
see,
C.
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 I'll take
What'd
B.
you
I'll
say?
take B.
What'd you say, Jumps?
I would say C.
Oh.
Or-
I was also on the
Like,
B
it was
train
it was
too, though.
very good.
Interesting.
It was very good, no doubt, but it was still like a flex gun that really didn't get used because
Exactly.
the M8 and MSMC were so much
Wait,
better.
okay,
mean-
okay. Dapper and Jims are on C wavelength. Me and C and K are on B wavelength. Matty Ice, you make the call.
My thing is during the timeline of the game, it wasn't used enough. Like post the BO2 life cycle, it was used a
I
lot,
don't know
but
about
like
you, I use it all the time.
it was just I don't know. Like with the
All right.
with the remaster, not remasters, but like the plutonium and stuff like that, I think it started getting a lot used a lot more. But I don't think it was as used during the game.
I will say I am not upset with this decision of moving it to C. I'm not upset with it.
Yeah.
I'll say
I
that.
think a lot of people are going to be upset, but I think we can all agree MSMC, A.
Hey, absolutely,
I agree.
Bang.
absolutely.
I mean, you guys
It's kinda
both think
Scorpion,
I'm lying
it's
right
kinda
now. Wait,
hard
oh,
for
wait,
me.
whoa,
DC.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's
whoa,
kind
whoa.
of it's kind of hard for me to judge SMGs because I don't touch them.
Yeah,
I don't.
same.
SMC
I
being
wasn't
an
an
A
SMC
actually just hurt my heart so
Scorpion is
much.
so situational. I love the
I was
Scorpion
looking
video,
at
so it's
Scorpion's-
good.
Well, hold
might
on,
be
hold
C as
on. I
well.
was looking at the MSMC from the beginning, and I was like, that is the most S tier gun I've ever used in my entire life.
Really? But like we can't flood S tier.
I mean, can't flood it, but you could also put probably one of the most overused guns in the history of the world.
S tier
In-
has to be sacred.
I mean, in fairness, this is also competitive speaking. I kind of forgot. Never mind. I think it's
I think Scorpion is C. Somebody said that. I
I
agree with it.
C or D to me.
I think it's C.
personally, it's in D, man. I was playing rank play with that thing.
Damn.
Dude, it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad gun. I do
Again,
remember that.
it's one of those. It was just like a off meta gun. It
You pulled
really
it off-
wasn't used that
You
widely.
Favela,
pull it,
dude,
you
you
pull it
kidding
out
me?
for
That
like
thing will
one hill.
shoot.
You pull it out for like
Yeah.
the garage hill and slums and stuff like that. Like,
It's MW2's cast on.
Church on
you know?
Yemen,
Yeah.
just like stuff like that.
I think
Oh,
I can
it's
I can
Favela,
get
I
behind
like
D,
that.
to be honest.
Shiva
Shiva's
D.
also in D.
I don't know
Shiva is
why Shiva's up
1000%
here.
D.
Remember
That's
people
a
trying to
D.
use the Shiva though?
If you use the Shiva, you were goofy. If you
No,
like
it just-
banned the M8 so we could use the Shiva,
But
or
then
like
also, what was
protected
the other
C-
burst gun? Like
Shiva?
the X or whatever, the X8
the
or
XR2.
XR2, yeah, that would get banned too, and then people would be like, "I got the Shiva though."
Yeah, that's so lame. Shiva high cal,
Oh,
cringe.
Dude.
My hot take on the VMP, I never liked it, to be honest.
It's
It
like
kicked
B.
too much. It had
You know-
too much recoil.
Well, that was like the beginning of the game though. It was very good. They nerfed it towards like the end of the comp season, and
yeah,
that's
the
when it
CUDA,
became
if
bad.
you go play BO3 now, the CUDA's the meta.
Yeah, but at the
VMP is not
time,
even
the VMP was definitely meta like the whole game up until like a couple weeks before champs.
I'd still say top of B. It was still really, really good.
Yeah,
You think
yeah,
it's better than
it
the
was
It was
ASM
still
one?
really good, but it just kicked,
Long
so
barrel
it
on that,
was hard to
baby.
use.
I would say end of B. I think ASM went from Master better.
I think
ASM
that's
Put-
fair.
yeah,
specifically.
that's fine. I'm fine with that.
That's fair.
Black Ops 4 ICR.
Ooh.
No, stop
Yeah.
it.
Or,
What
yeah.
are we doing?
I
think it's-
personally, that's an S for me.
I think it's a
What?
good A
That
tier.
gun,
I think
it
it's a
was
good
so
A tier
good,
gun.
bro.
I-
It's
I-
it's
I-
hard to
A's
say.
fair.
Is
A's
it
fair.
the best? Is it
The
the
Maddox
best
is better,
comp
bro.
gun?
I
Is
think
it the
top
best
A.
comp gun, or is it just so much fun to use?
Grip
I
two-
mean, it was
grip
fun
two
to
is-
use.
Grip
It
two is
definitely
crazy.
Like
had
the
vibes.
Maddox, dude. I
I
think
would
give you
say
guys the
top of
vibe.
A, but I would say top of A. It's just not as good as the Maddox.
Okay, it's not the
so-
Val. It's not better than the
Yeah,
Val.
I'm-
Like
I'm
or the
kinda-
M. It's not. You're saying though you
Eh?
like the ICR more than the MSMC?
Yes.
91.
No,
I-
man.
My,
kinda
my
agree.
double grip, my double grip ICR is my favorite gun of all time.
There's never
No
been a
doubt.
gun with
So
less
sad.
recoil.
It's so much fun to use.
Make it lit. It's
Shout out
fun.
the SOG, bro.
Okay, the SOG is like C.
Remember the first 2 weeks
yeah.
of the game when that thing was hitting like an elephant on top of a semi truck?
And then he got buffed right before champs or
And
whatever.
The SOG post hit scan buff after hit scan buff is S for sure.
Yeah, but like for the majority of the game, it was for sure C.
Yeah, it was it's so meh. Hit scan
Bro,
killed that.
This man said hits like an elephant on top of a semi truck.
It did for like 2 weeks.
Okay. Cold War 70 for you.
Honestly, A. I
S.
love this in A behind the MSMC for sure.
Good
Most
play.
OP
fine with
gun in
that.
the game.
It's a very
No way, bro. But
It's not
super
the most
fun to
OP gun in the
use.
game.
It
You
was
know,
a great time. I enjoyed my time very thoroughly on this gun.
thinking about it, I feel like the 74U and the MSMC like played very, very similarly. They feel very similar, iron sights and all.
I mean, I will say
You
both of them I could cross map people on raid 100%. So
Yeah,
I'll take it.
MSMC a little harder because there was actually recoil in the game back then.
Another thing,
But if you ADS with both of them, it's pretty similar.
Hey, but if
Hey,
you
feel
put
like
the
a
right
pretty-
sight on your gun with the MSMC, you could literally see people through walls.
ASM1 or AK though. I'm taking ASM1, to be honest.
I'm taking 74U.
I'm taking the 74U for sure. I
Over
had
the
a lot
ASM?
of fun using
Sure.
that gun in Cold War.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Krig, I feel like I like the Krig
A.
more than the 74U.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was
It
really
shoots,
close.
bro. It
I
shoots.
love the Krig, but it wasn't even the best gun. Everything else had to get GA'd in order for us to actually use it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the Krig was better than the 74U.
Oh, don't worry, we're getting to the XM4, Jim.
Well, I think he's talking about you had to ban all the
X-Men 4 is
ARs
down here.
before you got to
Yeah,
it.
all the
because
ARs
it's
had
the
to
only
get
thing that
J.
made the 74 equal with the ARs, though, is you had to get to the Krig. And the Krig was still better, arguably player to player.
So we're
you know?
saying Craig in A just above 74, yeah?
Is that not the XM4? Second one?
Oh, it is. What the heck? I guess it is.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
feel
why
like
it's
the
in here.
XM4 doesn't even get a spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't it be in like by default in C or D specifically because it was used for like? Did it even?
Hit,
They
like,
made it
half a
one
stage.
event, right?
It
That's
was
right.
like one Challenger Cup.
That'd be putting like the
Okay.
M4 from MW2 in this list,
Right.
which you wouldn't
So
do.
I feel like the
Just
by
Remington.
default it gets like C or D. So
Remington is at least C.
Yeah, like at the highest C.
It might be D. I'd say D.
I'd toss it in D.
Yeah, you pretty much have to use it on Octane S&D or Warhawk Blitz.
I
It's
feel like
pretty-
people don't remember how slow you moved with it. Like you actually move with a snail, like a snail.
Yeah, because Stalker was
the
banned.
vector was unbelievable.
D or C?
I'm not going to say D. It was still a very, very viable gun for the maps that it needed to be used on, Octane, Warhawk, etc. But it
About
wasn't special.
Yeah, get the XM4 out of here. Lob the Vector into S, baby.
Vector
Woo!
is so
that
good.
gun's
With the
lit.
blue dot, though?
Yeah,
With
the
it's
blue
got
dot?
to be the vector. I didn't use it personally, but the vector
dude.
was godlike.
I remember
So
using it
so
with the
much
blue dot all
vibes.
the time.
What are my IW people thinking about these? E-Red.
Erad,
might be
it
D.
really wasn't in the meta till late.
I hated it. I hated it so much.
Erad
did,
has no drip.
I put it in C or D. Yeah.
I'd
Said
say
that-
Put it above the Shiva.
I'd say D. It
That's a good
didn't
spot.
get it really didn't get into the meta until late, and it was good, but it just
What was the?
it just wasn't.
What was like
fun.
the weird like flex gun that was like a fast shooting AR that was also technically a
K-bar.
sub?
K-bar, which is this
K-bar.
one.
Which is right
No,
there.
no. It was like a white gun by default.
Oh, I know you're talking. The Osa that got banned.
Yeah, the Osa.
Osa.
That thing hit like
gun
a
was
truck,
gross.
boy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I'm glad
That
they
one got
banned it.
banned
But
pretty quick.
but the K-bar definitely good.
K-bar's
I
an A.
definitely enjoyed my time on the K-bar as a flex player. I say flex player. I mean, I was a sub / flex /
I didn't play
you know.
IW like that.
I
I
did.
like the K-bar though, from the outside looking in. I
yeah,
like the
K-bar is
MV4 more
good.
though.
MV4
Yes,
looks so
K-bar's like-
satisfying to use. I can't lie.
K-bar's
K-bar's
like-
as far as
wait,
comp
wait.
guns go, K-bar is definitely a C for me.
Wait, I have a hot take. K-bar
but I had
bottom of
fun.
B, NV4 top of B.
I'll take that.
I agree.
I'll take that
Mm,
all day. Dude, the NV4
somebody
is
didn't play
so
the game, so I'll say that.
smooth though. Are you kidding me?
I have a
K-bar top
lot
of
of
C.
time in IW. I would put K-bar in A personally, and NV4 in B.
Oh
I'm not-
wait,
I just don't like the K-bar.
I'll accept it. Jim's
Like
has
for
NV4 on the
the
other
rep.
hand though.
I had a
Or
lot
me.
of time
Alright.
in IW. The K-bar was very good.
You
It was
have
a
to admit though,
very,
you
very
loved
good
you
flex
loved
gun.
that NV4. though, didn't
MV4
you?
looks so satisfying, especially
Dude,
watching
I
people
love
play
it.
formal and
I loved every second.
Yeah,
Dude,
NV4 was like a double grip ICR. It had no recoil.
getting
fun to
kills
use.
with the NV4 just
was
in
IW.
general, like midair kills was so satisfying. Just
I play
was.
IW
The
right
K-bar
now.
though would allow you to get a little bit mixy with it,
I love
especially in
that
that
S&D.
game. Any new Call of
MW19
Duty? Can we get like
M4?
MW3 out?
Is that what that is? Is that the MW3?
MW19 M4 is.
MW19.
I feel like
It
it's
was
A,
disgusting.
but there's a lot
It
of
was
guns in A.
It was pretty gross. Like,
I
come on.
mean,
I think they were. It was very evenly matched. The MP5 was it not?
Actually, okay, what version
It was
of the
back and
MP5
forth.
are we, what version of the MP5 are we talking about? Is it post 10mm ban or pre 10mm ban?
post. Gotta be post. I feel like most of the
Post.
season was played post. Right?
Well,
I
it
don't
was like
know.
I think it was like half and half.
It was pretty half and
I would
half.
just say
It's
do
hard.
both, probably.
Because if it was pre 10mm ban, oh, MP5 was over the M4.
I'll just say I played this game for like a month and then never played it again. So
Same.
if I would have known about the Rec League, I probably would have played. But
I played the game for 2 weeks and then only loaded it back up when the Rec League was found.
yeah, I never even.
So
I played.
I can't accurately say.
What was it called? CDL Mosh
Warzone.
Pit. I played that.
I played Warzone.
Oh.
These guns were great in Warzone.
I played Warzone for sure. Yeah.
Shout out. Warzone.
I don't know. It's like B.
I think honestly both of them. I don't know. Actually,
Put that in B.
MP5 is a
Hold
little
on.
bit better.
I have a funny story about Warzone. So This is it's not gonna take very long. It's very short, very
Oh,
short, very
man.
short, very short. So I had to go hang out with a bunch of like family that are in town. So we went to this place called Hollywood Connections and it had a laser tag. There was this guy there, and as the game was starting, this dude was yelling the entire intro for Warzone One. Like when you're in the plane, that guy that's in your ear, where it's like, "Oh, X amount of people are entering the battlefield. Only one will survive. You're entering the
Jeez.
war zone."
Dude,
And
you
he
know how
would say
cringe that would
that
be?
every single time the game would start.
You know
Was
how
he
cringe
wearing
that
a
would be?
fedora and had a neck beard?
No, no.
How old was this dude?
Oh God, I mean, he had to be in his mid-20s. But dude was built like a fucking tank
Yeah, I can imagine.
In a good way or a bad way? I'm just kidding.
in a good way. Like this dude looks like
Oh,
he could
okay.
lay you out in one punch.
Okay,
Maybe I
okay.
won't talk about his
So
fedora.
he could be like a
next
middle
time.
linebacker or something.
Dude, I would not doubt it.
All right, going back to the tier list, huh?
Okay, yeah.
How do we feel about the
Thank you.
MP5?
I personally thought the
think- I
MP5
thi-
was better than the M4.
Yeah, I think I put it over them the M4.
It's still B tier.
Yeah, I agree though.
Yeah, above
I mean,
above
can we
the
just put them?
VMP.
Can we put them both in B?
Mm, I wouldn't say above the
Uh,
VMP.
Really? Dude, the MP5 is like
nothing from
insane.
MW19 can be higher than BO3.
Fine.
But
I
the
agree
gun
with the
was better.
principle of it. I even as much as I hated the
Principle.
VMP, like I agree with the principle of it.
MP was great. You're just an AR guy. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
ACR,
Is this the
MW2, ACR.
MW2
This
ACR?
is MW3.
Out
I
of
don't even
respect,
know.
boys. Out of respect.
Yeah, I guess we put MW2
minimum
ACR and S.
I think
We
out
just
of
have
respect,
to.
we have no choice.
Throw it.
Okay.
Bang.
That is like
It's
my favorite gun
it's
of all
above
time.
the vector. It's
Yeah.
above the vector.
But Victor?
It is above the Vector. But is it above the Maddox?
Guys,
though?
I think the
No,
I mean, the
top four is a
Maddox-
little sus
Nah.
right now. I think AR players got to stop complaining. Or
The
something.
Maddox might have the most vibes in COD history when it comes to a gun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
with the
There's
UMP,
4
bro.
ARs
UMP.
and S.
Shout out
I mean,
double
the
quick draw.
MW2 UMP was also ridiculous. It was a 2-shot kill with FMJ. It was wild.
I just remember running around with the UMP, bro. So much time. You know what my favorite thing from that game though? Model 1887's dual
Dude.
wheel before the
Before
nerf.
patch.
Come
Before
on.
patch, bro. Dude,
You're that
legit
guy?
like people joke about the cross map stuff all the time. That was legit, bro. It felt like it was cross
Yeah,
mapping
it
people. It
was.
really felt that way.
Yeah.
They were still
All right.
viable after this.
UMP? What are we thinking, boys?
It's
B
minimum
or C?
A. It's minimum
Okay.
A.
I think the MSMC and the UMP are very comparable as far as like
Rating. Where they would
yeah, rating wise. Not like
agree.
obviously
The
how they
U-
play.
the
Not how they
UMP
play. Don't get me wrong here.
While the UMP maybe not the vibiest gun, it was a legitimate 2-shot kill. It was gross.
Before or after?
I'll go after.
Nah, before.
No way.
Need tiebreakers here.
I was by before I mean lower B. Lower B.
I think
Right?
Yeah.
I think
Or
MSMC
sorry,
better.
lower A.
Yeah, and we're,
Okay.
okay, we're all in agreement here then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
MSMC ahead. Okay, perfect. MW3 ACR.
That's A too. At least it's not. It can't be above the MW2 ACR.
It has
We
to
may
be.
need to shift some of these a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. We
We'll
could
do
do
it after.
that. Behind the bow maybe, or behind. Yeah,
Behind the ACR or by the ICR.
yeah. I could do behind the ICR.
Yeah. I'd say so.
MP7 is one of the craziest submachine guns ever.
It really
S tier?
is.
Yes.
I would say S tier. Yeah.
It's in real life you're basically shooting an airsoft gun, but
Before after the
Yeah.
Vector.
Before Vector for sure.
Yeah.
dude, Vector's got
Before ACR even personally, but
Okay.
that's me.
We got to give some
What
sub
were we
love in the
thinking?
S tier. So
Bison. Bison was the actual competitive gun, I think. I don't know what
It
you
was
guys-
both of them, right? Weren't they both
I
viable?
saw a lot more of the Bison
Bison.
or the whatever it's called.
Bro,
This
the
is
guns
Bison, right?
coming up is just.
I don't know why, but
We're
I
going to
did see
World
a
War
lot
II
more.
now. It's
Yeah.
it's slim pickings.
Shout out the pros for playing World War II right now. Illy
There's
just
no
got a
there's no
four-piece.
bar. There's no bar from MW2 or World War II. That's the
It's because it
Because it
got
was
banned,
GA
bro.
gyms.
no. It was not. it got nerfed. They stopped using it, and then Rise pulled it out when nobody knew it was still good, and they won an event.
And then what happened?
No
And they got
way.
shit on
They
it,
pulled the
champs.
They
LAG, bro.
GA long barrel on it. That's what happened.
LAG before LAG even happened, bro. No way.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
Gunless with a long barrel on that bad boy. I'm thinking C.
See?
Yeah, I'm thinking C as well.
Behind the SOG.
It's weird. It's weird to say C because I think it was used in tandem with the MP7. I don't
I
think
honestly think it was used
either
more
one was better than each other, but everybody knows the MP7 way more.
M7 more vibes.
Yeah, way more vibes.
Any clip I think of from MW3 competitive, it's always the
Yeah,
Bison.
shout out Kenny on Jibby popping a 4-piece for the win.
Shout out Kenny in general.
The GOAT. Optic Ken.
All right, one of these is C
PPSH.
and one of these is D.
PPSHC. STGD. Not even a question.
I'd say the other way around.
Guys going
What?
mid B. Oh man.
Oh, I'd
B.
wait. No, I didn't mean B. I meant to go C.
No, it's C.
Yeah.
C.
It
I
is
will
the S-
say,
the STG
Yeah,
is
I
the goofiest.
personally did
Top of B.
thoroughly enjoy my time using the PPSH and just destroying people with it, but doesn't mean I want to do it again.
That's why it's in C. But it's not
Right.
D.
PBSH?
Who put it in? It's PPSH is in C.
Yeah.
The
We need the
STG's in D.
FT42 from at World War II up here.
True.
Dude, I got into a random mates lobby one time on host from Arizona with the FG42, and I dropped 60 kills, and I had a guy not message me every single day to team for 3 weeks.
Okay, boys.
That gun was stupid.
Okay. We
Now,
need
if
to
we
shift
were to
now.
pretend the XM4 was the bar, where would y'all
See,
The
put
but
it?
bar,
like-
it would be B. It'd be definitely above those two.
E for bar, I like it.
Definitely above those two.
Whoa.
Middle
let's-
in
The bar over the FAMAS?
no, above the MP5 and in between VMP and MP5. Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
Okay, I have thoughts.
Okay.
I think we shift a little bit. We move Krig and 74U down to B. We move MP5 and M4 down to C, and then we're good.
Krig and 74U to B?
Yeah, because one doesn't do enough. One motion is not enough.
Can we do both? Can
How
we do
about
both MW19 guns to C tier then?
Wait, no,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
no. Let's keep the MP5 in B, but move the M4 and the XM4 down to C.
Well, the XM4,
The XM4
is the bar.
is the bar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is the bar.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
Well,
the
I think
BAR from
actually,
World War II.
like this is fine. But we may,
Low key, I think we trolled with the Shiva. I think that's S tier.
dude.
I'm just kidding.
I think we have like one or two too many guns in S.
Hold on. Add row
Not
below.
yeah, not wrong. We might need an F tier. There we go.
Is any other gun on the level of Shiva?
I have no idea why the Shiva's up there. No idea.
Because it got used, I guess.
The XR2 or whatever got used more than the M8 than the Shiva. The Shiva was only used if they
Yeah,
banned
but when
both
High
burst
Cal was in the
weapons,
game,
like once.
High
If we're
Cal
gonna-
with rapid fire Shiva.
with what Jake said, if we're gonna move a gun out of S, we should probably move the MP7 down to A.
B7? Bro, I don't. Did you use it like that? It's
played the game a lot.
practically an AR, bro.
I think if there's a gun we're gonna move out, it's probably gotta be. We're looking at S right now, right?
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be the Vector that gets moved. To be honest,
No,
No.
I hate to do it because
No.
I love the Vector. I do
No, the-
love it. It's my
it's
favorite
the
gun
MP7.
gun
It's the
from the
MP7,
game for
bro.
sure.
It has to be an MP7.
You're gonna do.
I
the
feel like
MP7
I feel like every gun in S tier is kind of.
I would say MP7 because it was used in tandem with the Bison and MW3.
I
Like
could-
they were both just as good as each other. MP7 had more vibes though, for sure.
I
we
would
just
even
looking like a
argue.
great
I would
tier
even
list.
argue that the M8 from BO2 could go in A, specifically because there was a gun in BO3 that is the same gun that is better than it.
I'm willing to move it back. I don't know about down.
But also like the M8 was so dominant though, like, and like everybody
is
and their
in
mother wanted to get to
comparison
level
to the
55
other
to
guns.
use it. You know,
I feel like I'm want to move it back, but I don't know about down.
No, you can't. It's
Fine.
way too much of a vibe.
I
Should
don't
we
think
use
you
the
can move
should we
S
move the K bar to B?
if you move the NV4 up.
K bar's top of B if it's there.
I just love the NV4.
It's top of B.
Because like realistically, there should be like a hill in this. And if we have a hill right now, we have S, that's the start, and then it grows. B's the peak, and then we go back down, and it ends with the Shiva. And I think this is good.
That's a Shiva.
It is a good
I think the
bell
Shiva's
shape.
in the class of its own, bro.
I think the VMP is being slept on a little bit here. I think it was really good in BO3, but I'm okay with it in B.
I just have a vendetta against it. Okay.
I like
don't
the
know
74
why,
U
bro.
more than the VMP.
I feel
so
like
I think
I
it's
feel
good
like
where it is.
generally the VMP was so good. I don't know.
If you
I
were,
understand it
if
got
you were
nerfed at the
good,
end, but
if you
That
had a
was bad.
good shot, the VMP was crazy. But if you didn't know how to control recoil, it kicked like crazy. Also,
I mean, people always
So-
just did double grip on it, right?
yeah,
Like
you
forever.
weren't mapping anybody
'Cause
with that
people
gun.
would literally
had
ban
no
quick
range.
draw specifically to nerf the gun.
Yeah,
Not good.
I mean, I like the lit. I'll be honest.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
The only guns that I mean, I feel like we should probably just remove the XM4. So if we take a picture of it and put it on Twitter, people don't go like, "What?" Because people aren't gonna know. Yeah, leave it in Shiva.
There we go.
People aren't
That
gonna
works.
know that it was supposed to be like the bar, unless we write bar on it.
We put in parentheses. It's just easier to put the XM4 in Shiva tier
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if we post this. But if you're watching the tier list being created right now, just know that the XM4 is the bar and it's in B.
Yep.
That's a special little
Where-
Easter egg for you viewers.
Where it belongs.
And if you're not watching this or listening to this and you see it on Twitter, you won't know I'm saying this. But yes, we think the XM4 belongs with Shiva tier.
Yeah, the
Nah,
XM4 does
just kidding.
belong in Shiva tier.
Can you imagine? I mean, that's
Well,
good.
guys, I think we've
I'm cool with this.
completed the task.
Works for me. I'm happy with this tier list. I can die
Yeah.
happy with this for sure.
Yeah,
real
we all
question is-
agreed well. I mean, this is how all decisions work in the moderator channel. So I mean, this is just another day for us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pretty
This
much.
is
that explains a
unanimous
lot.
decision here.
I mean, the real question is, what's our next tier list?
Maps.
Maps it is.
We got to
All
get
right,
back
I mean,
into
I
snacks.
mean, honestly, I think we got to wrap this podcast up. I think it's been
Agreed.
going a little while.
Hour
We talked
and
a little bit about
5
that
right
roster
now?
mania. We talked a lot about Dapper's bed. We did the tier
That's
list.
right.
Little
This went
too
well.
long on Dapper's bed, but
I mean, we can
alright.
get back.
Disagree.
We can loop back around to that subject. To be honest,
I'm down. Let's talk about it next time.
Still
Because
talk.
Dapper's gonna have a new bed next time. We can do this
Yeah.
all again.
yeah,
Let's
I can't
go.
wait. Actually, can we? When are you getting the new bed?
They said, well, once I pick it out, it could be anywhere between 1 to 4 weeks.
Okay, so when you get the new bed, we'll come back to the conversation 1000%. We have
Yeah,
to.
just remember to
But-
remind us.
But in the meantime, the Pood is over. Ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
it has ended. We talked about quite a few fun things today. The boys all showed up. I feel like we've got the regular suspects here quite a lot, which is good to see. Shout out Matty Ice and Dapper for having literally god tier internet now. So that's good. That's good. We're excited to see that.
I am too.
But yeah, that's gonna be it from us. I mean, shout out Jim, shout out Jake, shout out Dapper, shout out production, aka Matty Ice. Got ourselves quite the night here.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next time on the Pood. Stay tuned. More to come.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.